Whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today. But if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on through our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace.
Metro Police! Open door! On me! I don't know where he is. Metro Police! Open door! It's upstairs. It sounds like it's upstairs. Go! Watch out. Stop moving! Watch left! Suspect down! Hey, hold the air.
All right, family, what's going on? Yeah, we started it off raw. So welcome to another edition of Random Topic Tuesdays. I call it the ball of confusion. The video footage that you saw, and I put the graphic footage up there, was obviously the big news as of yesterday. There was a school shooting out at the Covenant School out in Nashville, Tennessee. And the shooter was an Audrey Hale. Now, you saw that video footage. It took the police department at least 14 minutes to arrive at the Covenant School when the shooting had taken place. There's actually video footage of the shooter breaking into the school by firing shots with appears to be an AR-15 rifle. As you can see here from this footage that we have courtesy of the New York Post. This was outside. I'm sorry, y'all couldn't hear me, but this is outside Nashville. This is in Nashville, Tennessee, the Covenant School. Now, that's her there. That's her shooting up the front doors, the side doors, actually. The alarms are going off. She had 2 rifles and a handgun and killed 6 people. 3 of them were 9-year-olds and 3 staffers. The cops that opened fire in the video footage that you saw initially were Rex Engelbert and Michael Colazzo. You saw Engelbert's body camera footage, that was his. And it says that she reached out to a former basketball teammate before committing the massacre.
In school with Audrey Hale at some point. They were basketball teammates. She says Audrey Hale sent her messages on Instagram about what she planned to do.
9:57, I received a message from her. And at 10:08, I sent the screenshot to my dad, and he instructed me to call the suicide prevention helpline. And then at 10:13, I called the Nashville Davidson County Sheriff's Office. And then at 10:14, I called the Nashville's non-emergency line. And then at 3:29 is when they said that they had came to my home to try to speak with me.
That woman, young lady, is Ariana Patton. Now, they're already talking about how this shooter had mental disorders, I believe, and had emotional disorder, and was able to purchase 7 weapons legally. Now, tying it all in, there was a press conference right out after the shooting with the mayor of Nashville, who made the following statements. So I'm going to play a little bit of that.
Police in Nashville are updating that deadly school shooting in Nashville. Let's listen in.
Let us praise our first responders. 14 minutes. 14 minutes. I believe under fire, running to gunfire. And then I want to thank the seamless response for federal and state authorities from our police and fire department. So this morning I was in Boston to see my own son's sporting event, and now I am overwhelmed at the thought of the loss of these families, of the future lost by these children and their families. And the leading cause of kids get death now is guns and gunfire. And that is unacceptable. But I want to thank the fast response of our officers. Guns are quick. They don't give you much time. So even in a remarkably fast response, there was not enough time. And those guns stole precious lives from us today in Nashville.
Now I gotta stop this because this is the first time I'm even hearing it. This is the first time. I'm sorry, something's wrong with my camera. This is the first time I'm even hearing the mayor speak of Nashville, and we're talking about guns and gun violence, and it always comes down, especially when they want to change things. His name is John Cooper. They always want to talk and focus on how it's gun violence and guns are the leading cause of death. You actually, if you look at the FBI statistics, what people fail to realize, especially this, when you take that in context, yes, while guns may be leading cause of shootings and deaths, school shootings and deaths, you have to factor in number one, the areas that these occur in. You have to factor in, of course, with kids, you have a shooter who comes onto property, number one, where you are not allowed to bring a firearm. This is a religious school. I see it's called the Covenant School. You're not allowed to bring firearms, obviously, on school grounds. And so, as a result of that, why do you think most mass shootings, I'm going to ask this question, a lot of the mass shootings are happening at schools? It's because these bullies, these shooters, these degenerates are targeting the most, not only the most precious, but also the most vulnerable because they cannot defend themselves. You honestly think this person, Hale, would have shot up a sheriff's department or the police or the chief of police's building? Hell no. Why? Because she know there's an arsenal waiting for her. There's an army that the police have, that the sheriff's department have. They were taking our ass out immediately. This seemed like this was personal. This ain't about guns. People like to blame. It's easy to blame a firearm. It's easy to blame a gun because that's the quickest thing you think is going to change everything. It doesn't. People have been killing people since Cain and Abel, and they didn't have guns then. They go to schools because they know they can't have guns there, and they're not going to be, those people are not safe. Kids are not safe in schools anymore. And yes, it's tragic. We didn't have to worry about this stuff when I was coming up in the early 90s. I never heard anything like this. I never saw nothing like this before, but we got a crisis in leadership. We have a crisis in leadership, but most importantly, a crisis within the homes. This is not a gun problem. This is a people problem. Let's talk about that. And notice they're not going to do, like, if this was a black person, let's just say that, and typically we don't commit these types of crimes, but y'all know damn well they would be not trying to make this person out to be sympathetic, talking about their, if he was black, talking about their mental history, mental disorders. We don't get that benefit.
And in this dark hour, let us support each other. Let us go and hug our children a little bit closer tonight. And thank you all for being here. And I want to ask Chief Drake to come and give us an update.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to crack jokes, but the mayor looks like a...
Thank you, Mayor Cooper. Again, thank you all for being here. Just an update from today's press conference. We've identified the shooter as Audrey Hale, 28-year-old female that lived in the Nashville area. We have investigations ongoing now at the residence on Brightwood Avenue. And we have made contact with the father that lived at that residence and are putting together more information. We've also determined there were maps drawn of the school in detail of surveillance, entry points, etc. We know and believe that entry was gained through shooting through one of the doors is how they actually got into the school. I want to take the time to at least say, and I won't say the victims' names, I'll let Don say that, but out of the 6 victims, 3 adults, 3 of those were children. 2 of them were age 9. 1 was 8, about to be 9. All the families have been contacted. The victims' families have been contacted as well. My thoughts and prayers go out to the family. When we send our kids to school, or to any place of safety, we expect them to live, learn, have fun, and come back from that day's experience. We don't anticipate things like this.
I want to tie in before we get to the next topic, though, staying in line with this, couple of things. Let's focus on who the victims are because we give too much attention to the shooter and not to the people whose lives were taken. You had this 9-year-old Evelyn, is it Dykos? Evelyn Dykos, I hope I'm saying that right, who was 9 years old. Mike Hill, who was a custodian and father of 7 children. You had Catherine Kuntz, who was the head of the school. You have Cynthia Peak, who was a substitute teacher at the school. Haley Scruggs, who was 9 years old and was the daughter of Covenant Presbyterian Church leader, Pastor Chad Scruggs, according to a statement by Park City Presbyterian Church in Dallas, a sister church to Scruggs formerly served. And William Kinney, so another kid. So these are the people who we should be celebrating. Of course, we want to know more about who the shooter was, why they did this. We know that this person went to this school previously. I don't think she probably looks like had some type of resentment, although there's no motive exactly as to why this occurred. In and of itself, we don't know. All of that, gets determined after the fact. And according to NBC News, they found some more. Well, you heard earlier, they actually found a sawed-off shotgun at her residence, which doesn't surprise me if she had more guns. Yeah. So it says, I'm just scrolling here. YouTube rules prohibit violent content. Platform says Nashville video can stay. So, all right, y'all better not take my video down then tonight, YouTube, because you said yourself here, and y'all see it here, that it could stay. I don't know if it was we don't know that. Probably she could have, Darius, been resentful if this person is transgendered. Maybe they said some stuff that triggered that. They didn't like it. She didn't like it. Or he now.
Capture the shooter's final moments following a deadly rampage at a private Christian elementary school. Officers running toward danger, gunning down the heavily armed shooter, 28-year-old Audrey Hale, who police say identified as transgender.
Audrey bought 7 firearms from 5 different local gun stores here legally.
Police say Hale used 3 of those guns in the rampage, killing 3 adults and 3 students, all 9 years old.
This school, this church building, was a target of the shooter.
Authorities today revealing the shooter's parents were not aware Hale was currently in possession of any guns.
She was under doctor's care for an emotional disorder. Law enforcement knew nothing about the treatment she was receiving, but her parents felt that she should not own weapons.
The morning of the mass shooting, surveillance video shows Hale blasting out the glass doors to get access inside. Video from 10:18 a.m. shows Hale in the school hallways, heavily armed. Then, near the children's ministry. The stunning body camera video shows the moments police arrived on scene.
Kids are all locked down, but we have 2 kids that we don't know where they are.
Inside the school, sirens blaring as officers go from door to door. Moments later, police confront the shooter on the 2nd floor. Then shots fired And by 10:27 a.m., police say the shooter was dead. Tonight, a motive unclear as authorities continue to comb through clues left behind.
There's several different writings. I have not read the entire manifesto. Our team and the FBI has been working on this.
The shooting hitting too close to Avriana Patton, who grew up with Hale, receiving a warning on Instagram that something bad was going to happen minutes before the massacre.
I wrote back and said, Audrey, you have so much more life to live. What would you do if you were sent a message like that? You know, I don't really know. I sent the message to my dad, and I was like, do you think I should say something or find somebody? He texted back, yes, in all caps. So after that, that's when I started making calls.
But Hale's plan was already underway. Among the lives lost, substitute teacher Cynthia Peak, longtime custodian Mike Hill, and Catherine Kuntz, head of the Covenant School. The youngest victims, Evelyn, William, and Hallie.
We're all asking questions right now. No one really understands.
Tonight, finding comfort in faith in a place where students should always be safe.
Kathy joins us now live from Nashville. Kathy, amazing how fast those officers moved into that school. How are officials assessing their own response to the shooting?
Well, Lester, police chief say that there's always room for improvement, but the president did reach out to the chief and responding officers directly and commended them for their quick actions and bravery.
Unlike what happened out in Texas, if you remember, when those officers, the response time for the officers out in Texas, they were way too slow. The Uvalde shooting, they could have stopped it in 3 minutes. And we know from the time it took an hour and 14 minutes when officers arrived and ended the standoff. Now, you never get justice in stolen land. Now, I want to tie rest in peace to those 6 individuals, those babies that were killed. We never like seeing children massacred. We never like seeing anybody massacred, regardless of what they look like, their color. These are the innocent. Sorry, yo, I'm talking here and my tie ain't even straight. Rocking the sis sucker. Now, I want to tie this in with the other topic. So there was some criticism leveled at the president over an insensitive joke that he made, a bizarre ice cream comment. Now, this is not unlike Joe Biden. He makes a lot of bizarre comments in the past, but apparently he said this and it caught the attention of people. Even the New York Post had to comment on it. So this is President Biden, who was apparently making a reference to ice cream before he talked about the Nashville shooting. Now, I think this was, in fairness, this wasn't scheduled as a press conference about the shooting, but rather a White House event. And it came up before that, and just so happened that the shooting took place and this happened. So this is what happened here.
My name is Joe Biden. I'm Dr. Joe Biden's husband. And I ate Jenny's ice cream, chocolate chip. I came down because I heard there was chocolate chip ice cream. By the way, I have a whole refrigerator full upstairs. You think I'm kidding? I'm not. God. Ben, how are you, pal? One of the best guys in the United States Congress, Ben Cardin. Folks, welcome to the White House.
That's so remarkable. So what ended up happening, so that was the comment. And what they state here in the New York Post, the president then turned, so he made that joke, that reference, and then afterwards they're saying he then turned to serious to address the shooting at the Cumberland School in which 3 students and 3 staff members were killed, calling it sick and a family's worst nightmare before demanding once again that Congress pass a ban on assault weapons. Now, I'm trying to see if you could play it in full when he starts, but y'all saw the video, and there were many people who criticized him.
My name is Joe Biden. Whole refrigerator full upstairs. You think I'm kidding? I'm not. God.
Oh wait, let me pause it because what they'll do is give me a copyright strike even with the music in there. But you all saw that. So Biden makes this remark. A lot of people took issue with it, on especially the conservatives, in saying this. This is not the first time though Biden has cracked jokes and made what they call a fraudulent slip. He's done it often. Remember the remark he made about roaches and black kids? He made a remark, I remember, where it sounded like he almost he said the N-word at one time. He probably did. I think he did. But there were people that covered for him. And that's the clip that everybody was upset. And so he goes on to say on the shooting after the
I
ice
just
cream
want to speak
remark.
very briefly about the school shooting in Nashville,
He spoke
Tennessee.
briefly.
You know, Ben and I have been doing this our whole careers, it seems. And it's just, it's sick. You know, we're still gathering the facts of what happened and why. And we do know that as of now, there are a number of people who are not did not make it, including children. It's heartbreaking, family's worst nightmare. And I want to commend the police who responded incredibly swiftly within minutes and the danger. We're monitoring the situation really closely, Ben, as you know, and we have to do more to stop gun violence. It's ripping our communities apart, ripping the soul of this nation, ripping at the very soul of the nation. And we have to do more to protect our schools so they aren't turned into prisons. You know, the shooter in this situation reportedly had 2 assault weapons and a pistol,
Yeah,
2
here it
AK-47.
comes.
So I call on Congress again to pass my assault weapons ban.
An assault weapons ban. This is what was going to happen, guys. They always going to call for a ban. And it's not going to change anything. No, it's like what you said. You'll never get justice on stolen land. And y'all got to beware because they do have these bills that they have tried to pass. They failed through Congress, even though you have a Republican Congress, Republican House of Representatives, you still have a Democratic state, which means Democratic Senate, which would mean if you have some type of bipartisan where the Republicans did side on an assault weapons ban, let's say for the sake of argument they do, there's a strong possibility it would pass through the Senate. Now, I'm hoping that doesn't. Yeah, he did about Satchel Paige. What's up, DeAndre? How you doing, man? That's right. He did. I kind of remember that. I remember that. Yeah. But assault weapons ban, that will not fly. The Democrats, I believe, would lose the election if they passed anything like that, an assault weapons ban, because too many people love their guns, including me, number one. And especially in the rural areas, white area, they would not side with this, especially with the calls for defunding the police, the riots and stuff that you've seen breaking out. Because remember, we're not starting these riots that you saw, like George Floyd and what happened. That was, you saw a lot of white people rioting and protesting, some of whom is being confirmed have been agents, like what happened in Minneapolis at that AutoZone. That guy was a cop who was knocking out windows. So be careful, but this is not a surprise. Whenever there's a shooting, anything like this, the first thing they want to do is go for the guns and try and get the easiest thing they can. So just be people be mindful. That's what's that's what's happening. All right. So we're gonna keep monitoring this, man. But no, they're gonna let go of them guns. Like KRS-One said, Ice-T said, you never get justice on stolen land. Y'all smash up the like. So we rest in peace to those 6 individuals again. Be mindful of your weapons. And I called this now. Be mindful of your weapons, ladies and gentlemen. Be careful who you vote for. I called this show Ball of Confusion because of what we've seen with this mass shooting that's taking place, sadly, with those kids. Not only that, we couple it with the fact now there was another shooting that took place, although shootings happen all the time. I mean, you, like I said again, you got to factor the reasons, the facts, circumstances, why it happens. It is not about the accessibility of weapons. It is about the insanity of persons, the moral and societal decadence in this country that has stooped to a new low. And the United States is off the cliff now when it comes to morality by all the stuff we've happened, and especially when I mentioned the family crisis. This is a family crisis, a tragedy that took place. This is the last topic I want to talk about with you all. This happened out in Lowndes County, Mississippi, on Facebook Live. A woman by the name of Kadejah Michelle Brown, let me put a picture up for you, is charged with murder of the murder of her husband after she got into an argument with him on Facebook Live, recording and broadcasting it, and the shooting was recorded on both video and audio. Although you don't see Mr. Brown get shot, her husband, who's identified as I'm sorry, I had his name here. So this is Kadejah Brown, and she shot and killed a man who is her husband, who's 28 years old and a resident out in Lowndes County, Mississippi. The report says deputies responded to a domestic violence call at 500 Green Tree Drive at 7:42 a.m. on Saturday. Brother's name is Jerry, not Joe. Jerry Brown. Now, that's her mugshot. I'm going to play for y'all a video. This, again, goes to a family crisis, and you're going to know why I say that in a second. So I'm going to play the clip. Now, it's edited. It's not the whole thing, but basically the meat of everything that took place. So to set it up for you, what happened is Jerry Brown, according to what he was saying in the video, was on his way to work when his wife obviously wanted to pick an argument with him over leaving. And she didn't like it. And to top it off, and you're going to see this video, her mother is in the back cheering her on, helping to instigate this stuff. That's why I say family crisis. Now I'm not gonna continue to speak. I'm gonna let the video. I'm gonna let the video do the talking. Y'all just listen. Hold on.
Give me my phone, bro. Don't snatch on the phone.
What's the conversation?
Get out my
He said,
phone.
what's the
Don't touch
conversation?
me. Don't touch me. I'll call the police over there. Do not touch me.
He said, what's the conversation y'all want to have?
Keep your hands on.
What's the conversation?
Keep your hands on. Don't touch me, bro.
What's the conversation?
Smooth, bro. I'm trying to get ready for work, man. Go on.
How you getting ready for work?
Touch me again. Touch me, mother.
Touch me. Ain't nobody finna do that. Ain't nobody finna do nothing.
Open this house, police. Don't worry about it. Touch me again. Touch me again.
Stop. Yeah.
Touch me again.
Yeah, stop. Yeah, bitch. Stop. Then y'all wonder why the kids.
You heard that? She said, "Oh shit, I don't want to go to jail." Now this is all alleged. I always say alleged because you didn't see the video. I don't know what happened exactly, but there was some type, obviously, from all intents and purposes, there was a verbal altercation. We saw that with regards to him leaving. The mom and the grandmother is instigating in the back. And to top that off, when the shot goes off, you hear both of them screaming. There's also part in the video, if you listen to the whole thing, when the sheriff's deputies comes. Before that, the kids are crying, obviously. And someone says, which I believe is Kadejah, she says, "Your daddy did, your daddy did." Now, I listened to it. It was on the brothers. I was listening on the brother Palmer's channel. And she basically got her husband killed. Now, I state of Mr. Palmer was talking about. Now, yes, she's innocent until proven guilty. Yes, she's entitled to due process. The video is damning. I will say, but let's be real. The video was damning. She's gonna have to answer. Number one, why was a gun out in the first place? Who pulled it out first? You obviously did. Why would you pull it out? What was the reason for it? If he's going to work, why wouldn't you let him go to work? Your life, was it truly in danger? Is she gonna make a self-defense claim? According to what the police have stated, there is a history of domestic violence between the two. I don't know. They say between the victim and the perpetrator. I don't know who was arrested on domestic violence or what, but there is history. And of course, I can tell you from a legal standpoint, there have been cases and calls where they will use, defense attorneys can and do use what's called a battered wife syndrome defense if there has been some type of history of domestic violence. And who knows, that may play into fact. I don't know. That's why I say alleged. But there is but overall, I will say still, this is a tragedy in the making because 4 children, and I'm assuming they're all his, are without both their mother and father. The father is deceased and the mother is in jail. I don't believe a bond has been set for her. And to top it all off, what's going to make it 10 times worse is what you heard in the audio is going to be raising them. That's right. That grandmother now, those kids have lost their mother and grandmother and their mother and father. They're going to be forced to live with their grandparents. And if they're forced to live with that woman, then they're going to be raised just like this woman who was in this man's face trying to instigate an argument. So that's what I heard there. She instigated everything. I'm talking before the shooting. And that's the problem that I had is that he's going to work and you're trying to start a physical altercation. You put your hands on him from what I saw in the video. And your mother is egging it on. I'm assuming the mom lives with them. Now, there's no way if my mother-in-law was like that, she would be living with me. Yet alone, I wouldn't be married to a woman like this. This is what Samuels talked about in his video when he went in on Will Smith when he slapped Chris Rock, and he talked about how this is how far, because they had a woman who called in trying to defend Jada and knowing she was wrong, and he says this is how far some black women will go because they'll justify stuff like this, and you as black men will be the ones in jail. Realize they'll be going out doing what the French toast they want to do, and you understand why so many black women fear their mama. I hope the paternal grandparents are not like this woman, that grandmother, because you know what's going to happen. If they play, somebody going to sue. I hope they sue for custody, and that videotape is played, and a family judge, if they hear it, will hear it, would not grant this woman custody of those grandkids because she's helping and egging and cheerleading her daughter on into a physical altercation with her husband. There used to be a saying, what happens in the bedroom stays in the bedroom. Whatever's going on between a man and his wife, that's private. Why is she going on Facebook Live promoting this shit? I don't know why people do this. Why you put your business out in the street? And you really fucked up even worse because you put out a video that incriminates you into a murder. It doesn't mean you're guilty or not, but this shit is going to be bad. This shit is bad. This is going to be played in front of a jury. And there's no way a defense attorney, once they get the videotape, the Facebook Live, then of course it's got to be authenticated, but there's a process we call authentication. Now, it came from her phone. She doesn't have to testify, of course. It's her right against self-incrimination, but more than likely, if she's going to argue a self-defense claim or accident, it's imperative she goes on a witness stand and explain that to the jury because they would like to hear this stuff. Now, Ladybug, I take exception to that. I'm a court-appointed lawyer. I'm a public defender. My license is as good as Ben Crump. My license is as good as Johnny. Well, Ben Crump is not a criminal defense lawyer. My license is as good as Johnny Cochran. Court-appointed attorneys are not always bad. It's just for people who can't afford one, unfortunately. And yes, that's another story. Yeah, some women want attention. You're absolutely right. Computer robots. This is attention. She was trying to get attention. I agree. Chris Rock even said this in his special, how we used to want love, but now we want likes. He said you can thank feminism and women with low moral positions and men that have no standards and character. These type of people make real men and women look bad. Yeah, soundly. And you're gonna have kids that are gonna grow up without their father. Another episode of black children without a dad, feeding a stereotype, a false stereotype. You played had the angry black woman and angry black man all rolled up in one. And if there was a history of domestic violence, this was clearly a toxic relationship, I'll say the least. Men, it's okay to walk away. A lot of men want to stay with their wives and their girlfriends, even I know from domestic violence situations, because I've seen it as an attorney. They have children, they have a family, they want to be together so that it's for the best interest of the child. But if there is violence in any way, shape, or form, I'm going to tell you, there's nothing wrong with walking off. Walk off if you got to. Yeah, you wonder how many men she ran off in her life. The mother even saying, "This is your family. You're supposed to be here helping, taking care of the kids." Bitch, I work. He's going to work according to what he said. That ain't taking care of the kids. I gotta be with you while I'm at work trying to put money on, trying to get money and put bread on the table and clothes on their back. That's help. And the main thing I heard when it turned physical and you hear a gunshot go off, she's screaming, "I don't want to go to jail." I'm not Jerry. I'm so sorry. What happened? Jerry, please come back. Nothing like that. And you didn't hear that initially. Yeah, she was shocked and surprised it happened. And I take that's the mama there. And he's on the phone. Supposedly, I had heard, sounds like he was trying to call somebody to come get her because she kept putting his hands on him. But this is a tragic situation, ladies and gentlemen. This woman, this is not wife material. I'll be real. She's not wife material. This is baby mama drama. Yeah, she's single, all right, but get her chances of being with a man now have gone are slim to none. I should say zero because she's gonna end up in a female penitentiary for the rest of her life. And her kids likely will be now she hasn't been convicted, but that's a possibility. You got to think about it. She's gonna have to answer the questions I propose, like why was a gun pulled? Number one, who grabbed the gun? They're gonna have to look at the fingerprints. They're gonna have to obviously check for do a preference test to see if a gun was fired. Witnesses that were present, the mama would probably be compelled to testify. Uh, of course, I don't know if anything legal could happen to her. She may not want to testify, obviously. The kids, I don't know how old the kids are. He said, "I feel the children will be better in foster care. Both sides of the family are probably toxic." That might be a possibility too. But the sad part is the kids are going to grow up without their parents. She had babies. She had, from my understanding, they were infants. A couple of infants there. So they're not going to know their father. They're not going to know their mother. She did that. No. Rest in peace to that brother. Men, again, if you get in a relationship like this, you got a woman that's screaming at you, she going to her mama talking to you about stuff and they egging it on. That should have been the day that you serve her with divorce papers. Mark my words. Put that date, you move out, you get shelter, go to even a Motel 6 if you got to. Don't do I perish the thought. Have nothing to do with her. Period. We'll share that link with I'm gonna share it with that link with him. I do want to show I do want to reach to Sean because I'm looking at Twitter now just about what's going on in this Nashville shooting. And Sean actually is tweeted something to the Representative Adam Swift, who said we need to ban assault weapons now. And Sean, we need to ban assault weapons. Let me just show y'all the Twitter feed. No, foster care is just as bad. Foster care kids get molested, abused in those too. Now, it's not to say that's all happens all the time, but sometimes they're not a match. Remember, they're going to be split up, possibly. That happens. Let me show y'all what Sean tweeted. So Sean was talking to Adam Schiff. We need to ban assault weapons. We need to hold gun manufacturers responsible. We need to limit high-capacity magazines. We need to raise the age limit to purchase guns. We need to act. And if Republicans won't help, they need to get out of the way. Man, sit your ass down. Sean told him, sit your ass down. I'm going to read it like how Sean says, man, you need to sit your ass down. You sit your ass down. Because when I take a critical examination of your ass, you clearly are stupid and bilocated when you talk about the banning of weapons. I'll send that to Sean, though, since you asked me. Computer robots. But I'm going to get out of here in a second, guys. But please, 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 I didn't do this earlier intro, but if you like the channel, if you like what we're talking about, I need y'all to hit that like, share, and subscribe button as we go live. Share if you love this video, if you love the commentary. Hit that notification bell. Please hit that notification bell. And we were talking about the family crisis. There is a family crisis here in America, guys. More than, and we want to blame the easy thing, but we got to do the right thing and if we're going to move this country and nation forward and deal with the true issue at hand. Otherwise, the guns are just going to be a scapegoat. There's a crisis internally. There's a spiritual crisis that's going on here in America, and it needs to be confronted head on. And it's not going to be done with the politicians out there in Washington, D.C. It's going to be fought right here in your neighborhoods, in your homes. Look at your communities and how messed up they are. It is the men, like always, that have to respond. It is the men that will have to put in the work and take back their communities. If you're tired of seeing stuff like this, then damn it, let's fight it. Let's fight it together. Now, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm about to head out of here. Please donate to the Cash App, PayPal, Zelle. As you know, YouTube has us on a shadow ban, so the channel's not monetized. Anything you can do to contribute is greatly appreciated. Yes, beta mail. Go to Amazon Kindle and order The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., The Destruction of Due Process of the United States. And also, if you like to advertise, of course, you can email me, gavin.gwh1@gmail.com. Go to the Patreon. Also buy Video Soul and Gotta Get On Up on Apple and iTunes, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I'm going to roll on out of here, guys. But, yeah, this is a terrible situation. That was a terrible situation. I was highly pissed at that because this was something that could have been avoided. And those kids will now grow up without their father and mother. And that's who the real victims, outside of the dad, obviously, in this tragedy. All right. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up, guys. Love y'all. Peace and blessings. I hope everybody stays safe. Be one, be safe, be blessed. I'll holla. All right, I'm getting out of here. I'll be back Thursday. Yeah, try on chicken, meat, or fish. And all this goes great with every dish. Thank you, Darius, from Atlanta. Kamal, you might want to send, Sean just sent me a message. He said, send him a Cash App if you want this video. Sean, you can't do it as a favor for a friend? Yeah. I'll do requests too if everybody's interested. If they want a video, I'll do a request for it. Nobody that, yeah, people can do that for me. That'd be good. People said, so wait, I'm hearing this person was bi, and that's what that was. Yeah. So that's what the video went black.
Everybody. Keep your hands on me. Don't touch me again. Touch you. Jason, sit down over here. We'll make it easy. Sit down over here. I'm going to do it just like this. Nobody, I can get out my bed for this.
So that's the video. Okay, so this is the full video here. I just happened to I saw somebody comment and say he was bi, and I looked at it. I don't know how true that is. I don't want to spread a false rumor, and it turns out not to be true. But at either rate, he didn't have to die. Y'all can take a look at the video. That's the link. I put the link in the comment section. But yeah, y'all, it's sad either way.
I have to start. Get somewhere and sit down. Y'all gonna have to start. Stop all this. Cause then y'all wonder why the kids.
Yeah, ridiculous. All right, y'all. Let me stop. I'm gonna get on out of here because I gotta run. But y'all be safe and be blessed, family. I said I wasn't gonna do but an hour. But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. Please donate again to the Cash App, PayPal, Zelle. Support this channel. You see at the Venmo. You see it at the bottom, guys. I'm out. Peace, family.